We are your sidekick in business for social media, video production, and more. Find out more at sidekickmediaservices.com.
Hello, friends. I'm your pal in the mainstream media.
And I'm your Riz.
And you know, Riz, it takes years of strenuous, dedicated training before you're worthy to step inside a professional wrestling ring. But it takes even more time to develop complex, highly astute opinions about professional wrestling. Am I right?
That is correct. You know where we can find that?
Yes,
In the Wrestling Ham.
that's right.
Sidekick Media Services. We are your sidekick in business for social media, video production, and more. Find out more at sidekickmediaservices.com.
Hello, friends. I'm your pal in the mainstream media.
And I'm your Riz.
And you know, Riz, it takes years of strenuous, dedicated training before you're worthy to step inside a professional wrestling ring. But it takes even more time to develop complex, highly astute opinions about professional wrestling. Am I right?
That is correct. You know where we can find that?
Yes,
In the Wrestling Ham.
that's right.
This show is a member of the Sorgatron Media Podcast Network. Find out more at sorgatronmedia.com. This show is brought to you by Slice on Broadway, supporting Pittsburgh podcasting with the perfect pepperoni pizza. Production services by Sidekick Media Services. And listeners like you, supporting us at patreon.com/AwesomeCast. Time to get geeky, get awesome. It is the AwesomeCast. I'm Mike Sorg at Sorgatron on the social medias of all kinds here in the Sorgatron Media Studios from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, by way of Western New York. Had a couple days out with some extended family, I guess we can say. Had some early Thanksgiving. So glad to get in it. It is Turkey Week, and we have a gathering of the awesome family here this week. First of all, where do we go? Let's go relatively alphabetical. From Studio C in the Big D of Dormont, PA, back on the show. God, it's been like a month or something. The Chilla is back with us.
I am back, and it's a lot cooler here than where I was last week. I was in Phoenix.
You were in Phoenix? My
It
God,
was 75 degrees.
my father-in-law got stuck in Phoenix overnight because of plane issues last week. So, yeah, we've all been. Most of us have enjoyed some nice areas lately. So that's been appreciated. So good to have you back. Also back with us from Studio Duds is the Dudders. Katie is back with us.
Hello.
Hello. Katie, if you're with video, Katie's got something on her face, and we'll address it later in the show, actually, as we get to our awesome things of the year, or thankfuls of the year, or something like that. Don't mind me. I'm trying to figure out where this HDMI goes as we're going to. So, and also with
Not important.
Katie, how are you doing other than the obvious?
Fantastic.
That we're keeping a mystery for the audio people.
Yep, I'm doing well. I got a bandagey thing on my nose. It's very lovely. It's been an interesting week.
Absolutely. Since like Thursday or something, right? So either way, you're healing up, and we'll talk about that here later in the show after the break. Also with us representing the iPhoneography podcast and I keep wanting to say astrobiology whenever I put the tweet out for you when we put the clip up. Astrophotography is what I mean to say. Dave Podner's with us as well.
Hey, Sorg, you're doing good today.
Excellent.
And luckily having a lot less exciting week than Katie.
Hey, there you go. Anyways, let's get into our... No, that's the wrong one. Let's do this one. That one. Awesome thing of the week. There you go. Let's get started with Chilla. What do you got going on?
So I actually had the Gen 1 of these, and I'm thinking about ordering a second one. Mine is the Litme Fantasy 3 TV backlight kit. What I like about this is it's not a lot of the lighting kits, if you see them from Govee or other companies, they actually have a camera that hangs out over the front of the TV and looks down at the TV, and then it projects it and the border colors around the back. So it makes it look like any show you're watching. The colors around the edges are bleeding off the side of the TV because it's LED lighting around the back of the TV that's then projected kind of against the wall. What I like about theirs is it's an HDMI box, and it's like half the price of what the Philips Hue systems are of the same type. The other thing I like about theirs is they actually, to help you save some cash, they have different kits for different size TVs. So there's a 55 to 60 inch TV, 65 to 70, 85 to 90, and then 86 to 120. It's very easy to put on the back of your TV. They walk you through it, and then there's this HDMI pass-through box. I've had issues with speaker bars and all kinds of older equipment not working with 4K TVs, or, not working correctly with surround sound. Their box I've never had an issue with, and it always looks really good whether you're playing a game or watching a movie. I also don't like having a lot of light on the room because you often get a reflection on the glass panel.
Yeah.
So this offers a nice black or back lighting to your television. And the coolest thing right now is if you're a 55 to 60 inch TV owner, these are typically about $200, but they're 50% off right now on Amazon. So
nice.
Highly recommend it. Like I said, I have two of these. I've been thinking about getting a third. And I'm really thinking about it because, well, half off. It's pretty good deal for.
It's like getting two.
Yep. And like I said, I've had really good experiences with this Litme company. They sell other devices, like where if you wanted to do other LED lighting, maybe around a table or under your sofa, all the lights can sync together, and it works pretty well.
I like it. Very cool. I have not had the opportunity to watch a lot of like ambient, does it? So it really does kind of enhance that vibe, I guess. It's just...
think about like Star Wars or anything, right? Any of the colors that are gonna be around the edge of the TV are just gonna bleed off. It's not like it's throwing the image there, but
no.
To me, it gives a nice effect. Like I have down lighting in my basement, and then I have upstairs. I have like floor lamps for the most part, which cause a lot of reflection off the glass. This lets me dim them to the point where it's not noticeable, and then there's still enough ambient light if you want to get up and move around.
Awesome.
It's not like everything's totally dark.
So that is the Litme Fantasy 3 TV backlight kit over on Amazon. That's LYTMI if you're looking for that later. So
And it supports up to 8K, 60 hertz, HDMI 2.1, compatible with Alexa, Google Assistant.
I presume this is down compatible if I still have HD televisions. So
Oh yeah,
it's just picking up the light.
as long as you can. And the interesting thing, like the original boxes, you got one pass through. They now have a switcher on this that supports up to, I think, 4 HDMI inputs.
So you have like a built-in like TV switcher on top of things. Like it kind of passes through the entire thing, right? So that's cool. That's cool. Katie, what is your awesome thing of the week?
I think it involves you.
Me?
Also.
Oh no! What did I do? What did I do?
The not your average holiday parade, you jag off.
Oh boy, here we go again.
It's parade time.
It's parade time. Yay. The time where I get to stuff in the back of a truck and live stream while we're going in circles. So let's see if we can pull it off again.
Be nice to yourself. But yeah, this is our favorite Jags, John and Rachel's Media Jag Off podcast. Host this. It's like a non-parade or a reverse parade because the story is WPXI got rid of their holiday parade, so they took over in the parking lot of the Block Northway, and they have different stations set up, and they drive around and. Sorg does get to live stream this, so you can watch it online and watch it later on. But they have a lot of fun guests. It's always folks from the radio. I didn't even see all the guests this year because I end up running around telling people what's next or where to go. It's a lot of fun. Did you know Kid Mental is going to be there?
I saw the post about that. Our good friend Kid Mental. I ran into him. I was They had a Christmas thing couple like last weekend or over at the waterfront, and we're walking through to go see a movie, and we're back and they're tearing down, and I'm just like, who's that guy on the stage? Apparently it was a Zero Fossil production, so we got to catch with them for a moment there. But no, this is a fun thing, yeah, and it's so wild, it's so fun. This is the one from this last year's? I think it's the first year we did it here. Because that was like the graphics I did for that. But no, it was a lot of fun. Yeah, there's the Jagoff Polka band. You get to sit home and kind of just check it out. So it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, and it's the Block Northway. Starts Saturday at 10 a.m. The biggest thing at the end is Santa's going to be there.
That's right.
And it's the Pittsburgh Santa. So that's the best part is it's the Pittsburgh Santa, and he is amazing, and he does this every year, and he's very kind.
Did I see Santa doing like some kind of karaoke or something on social media with them, or they were dancing somewhere on stage? Like they were, yeah. Well, like, I presume it was Light Up Night or something, right?
I think it was. Yeah, so I was trying to see. I was like, that's what it was.
I haven't looked at the forecast for this one yet.
It's going to be cold. It looks clear, but just it's going to be cold.
As long as it's dry, because that was miserable that first time. So I talked to Rob, our videographer that did the first time, having him coming back, and he's just like, yeah, it was kind of just miserable and cold the entire time. I was like, at least you were moving mostly. So not as much as Katie was. So
it's not a big parking lot. I think I did like 1,000 miles.
Yeah, you're just like the PA organizer, like hanging that, just you're holding the whole thing together. Does the truck move? Should it not move? Do we need to pull up more? We're by the way, the driver's wearing a headset this year. I've already decided that's a thing that's happening. So for better or for worse, that's what's going to happen. So no, it's a really good experiment and something that's really cool to pull off here and kind of problem solve and all that kind of stuff. So look for that. I'll be streaming. I think we'll be on Trib Live again this year, if I'm not mistaken. So you can go there and check it out. So awesome. Go check that out. Was there a secondary thing you said?
Yeah.
Okay.
Something else they're doing is they have Kaufman's, essentially like kind of Kaufman's windows. They're 5 foot by 4 foot boxes. The Carpenter Union built. So 4 nonprofits created their own little windows for the holiday season. and they will have QR codes on them. And 412 Thrive is one of those nonprofits. So come check out your window while you're there. There's a big
Nice.
unveiling on that Saturday too, after the parade's over, so everybody can see it. Yay! Nice hat, Cogner.
Oh, there you are. There you go. Representing
Oh,
with the
there we go.
412 Thrive hat. There you go.
Yay!
There we go.
Awesome. Now it's gonna be a fun time, and a good part of the holiday weekend. So trying to get Christmassy in a little earlier. Yes. And we might have some fun festivities at the studio. We're working on it. We're seeing. I think everybody's available that we talked to, so we might have some fun there too. I have some social media for that. Anyways, who's next? Potter. Since you got a hat, I don't know. Maybe your awesome thing is that hat. I don't know.
Well, no, that I will say this. It is not the hat, even though the hat is truly awesome right there.
Mm-hmm.
That is a truly awesome hat, yes. But no, it's actually related to something I did after work today. Because I saw the forecast for Thanksgiving around Pittsburgh, and it's not supposed to be horrible, but it's supposed to rain. Mm-hmm. And I don't want to be outside in the rain putting up Christmas lights.
Who does?
Exactly. So tonight I decided to put up my Christmas lights. And something I got this year is a new outdoor remote timer. And this one's actually pretty nice because it's got 6 prongs in it on 2 sides. Mm-hmm. It has a nice stake, so it keeps it off the ground. And it has a nice remote control. So you can actually control it from the warmth and lightness of your home instead of having to go out and try to click something outside.
So,
or if you don't want to do like dusk till dawn and not have your lights on at 3 a.m.
So this is the Woods Outdoor Holiday Decor Timer with remote. There you go. So yeah, that looks handy.
Oh, it does. Yeah. And like I said, I like the fact that it does have the remote if you want to turn off your lights for whatever reason or turn them on. That way you don't have to worry about being stuck on the timer that you don't have control over. So it's like I said, our old one last year kind of bit the bucket. So we were looking for a new one anyway. And like I said, the one sometimes you see them, they just kind of lay flat. And this one is up and it's protected with the plugs that you don't use. So I do like that fact. It makes it a little bit safer.
I like it. And I'm sure there's probably a few versions of this, but this looks like a really nice one.
Yeah. Yeah. And it was nice because we were just in Sam's Club doing our normal shopping. And it's like, oh, we need this. And this is not a bad price.
Awesome. 1690 something over there on samsclub.com.
Yeah.
1698. So go check that out. All right, my awesome thing of the week is something that's coming up here. I just saw the ads. Remember Super Bowl last year? Katie, I think you might have been here for this, where we watched the Nickelodeon version, the SpongeBob, the Super Bowl in Bikini Bottom, I think it was, right?
It was amazing.
So of course there's been some shuffling, and you have ESPN and Disney, and I presume ESPN also has NBA as well. So there's 2 things actually popping up here. What did I just open? And he's both popped up on my feed on Instagram. So this is kind of all I've seen of it so far, but I'm sure there's a lot more out there. So of course you have the NFL. This is going to be, I believe, a Monday night game on December 9th. And if we go over here, you're going to see that they're going to do an NFL game with The Simpsons in an alt telecast. Whoa. And they have a preview for what it's going to be. This is going to be the Dallas Cowboys against the Cincinnati Bengals, where Homer and Bart are going to be representing each team, respectively. And it's going to have interviews. I think they said that, hold on, let me get this swung over here, and this is the little video preview they have for it to kind of visualize what's going on. I think what they're doing is they are actually going to do, because I've seen them do this with the kind of like the Madden gameplay and things like that, is what I'm grokking off of this is they're going to reenact the entire game in this CG kind of goofy player kind of look to everything in the Springfield kind of stadium. Like there's like a POV thing that they did. Again, I don't know how that's going to play into the live thing. You're going to have supposedly sideline interviews by Marge and Lisa. You're going to have Maggie on the what they say, the flyover cam or something, the sky cam. Yeah, Maggie's going to operate the sky cam. So you get the general idea there. So I love this. This is Disney. It's going to be on both Disney Plus and ESPN Plus, and with mobile availability on NFL Plus. So all the pluses have it. They're calling it Fun Day Football. And not only this, I also discovered that they're doing something with the NWA. Sorry, I was just watching wrestling. NBA as well. This is going to be, I believe, on Christmas Day. It's going to be the next Spurs game. And it's going to be, again, they're calling this using Sony's Beyond Sports technology, and they're going to have an animated NBA game with Mickey and Friends as part of it. We don't have as much. We just have kind of some stills of it so far. Christmas Day at noon is where they're going to be doing this. So they're going to be launching that all cast as well. Again, it's going to be a Disney and an ESPN product as well. I cannot tell you the last time I watched a basketball game, but I'm kind of up for this. Eat your heart out, Space Jam. So, I don't know. What do you guys think of this? Based on what we saw with the Nickelodeon kind of playing with these concepts and going as like Katie, I know we were watching the Nickelodeon ones. Are you excited for a Simpsons version of a football game?
Yes, I think it's gonna be fun. I don't know. I like The Simpsons. We grew up on The Simpsons. I love The Simpsons. So yes, I'm excited.
Awesome. What about you, Chilla?
I'm actually not familiar with the whole thing. So what is it?
So it looks like you're going to be. It's an alternate version of the telecast. Now it seemed like Nickelodeon seemed to overlay things on top of the game, and like slime coming out of the end zone and stuff like that, right? And had different alternative commentators. This is going to be. Sounds like it's going to be a more integrated, where like you're going to see the game kind of generated in CG based on where the players are and how the plays play out.
Okay, so I've seen the slime thing, but I'm interested. Like, are they going to overlay that with the players to scale?
To what I think is going to happen, if I'm understanding this right, is they will replace. You won't watch live action. You're going to watch live action retold through CG in the style of The Simpsons. And I think the basketball game is going to be very similar.
I'm interested to watch it because I don't like the slime time or whatever they call it. I honestly don't. So I'll give it a whirl, but we'll see what it's like.
And also, I mean, it's not so much maybe. Well, okay, Simpsons is going to be for us. Let's be honest about this. But
see, I like the Simpsons concept, but I'm interested. Is it going to look comic-y, or is it going to look like? It's going to look CG. Like this is basically a video preview of what they're expecting things are going to look like that we were showing here shortly. So like this is the preview. This is the trailer. This is what they're setting you up to kind of expect. And they're going in and going into like what it's going to look like with the players on field and things here momentarily. See, I wish it would be more flat and like normal Simpsons-esque.
Well, I mean,
give me like the 10-yard fight Tecmo Bowl
cell shaded
version of the game with the Simpsons.
You know what? We can sell that for next year, I guess. I don't even know who would have to get the rights to it in order to do that version of it, right? So, like, if only G4 was still around and actually successful, maybe we get something like that. So, looking for that. Hey, it's gonna get me interested in checking out some sports ball again that I haven't in a good long time, right? So, there you go. That's been our awesome. And thank you to our awesome people supporting the show over at patreon.com/awesomecast. Our friends that support us over there, including Cynthia Klosky, Michael Fedor, John Nagore, and Dave Potter. Hey, he supports everything. It's fantastic. But I think you're on both Patreons, aren't you? I am. Yes. It's a blank slate after I say it, so I can say the next one after this one. So, but no, thank you everybody that does support us. We do get a little bit extra Patreon. We are we have a little bit of the pre-show you get on there. You get before the graphics come down, you see what's going on, and you get the first look at the Patreon content here live on Tuesday nights with us with an alternative stream. Kind of like it's like the Systems NFL, but the opposite. So Thank everybody who does support the show and keep things rolling here at the AwesomeCast and give us a reason to come back every week. So let's get into I don't have a sounder for this. I should just get a gobble gobble thing going. Oh no, I'll work on one in a second. I like to do a version of our awesome thing of the week every year for this episode of kind of like more of what are we thankful for in tech and geekery or whatever the case may be. So Katie, we teased it, so let's start with your thankful, and now and I'm sure it's something we're not going to be able to live up to. Now I realize that I put you first. So Katie, what are you thankful for this year in awesomeness?
For me, in awesomeness in tech, personally, on my nose, I did have a basal cell carcinoma that I had to have removed from the side of my nose. It was kind of right along the ledge here. I thought it was a pimple that just took a while to heal, and it turned out it was not. And this whole process happened very quickly, and I ended up having to do a couple scrapes, and then so they get everything out. Got everything removed, need a little bit more reconstruction because of the location, and that's why I'm wearing this. And I have stitches under here that come out tomorrow morning. Very excited about that. So it's been a long week.
Just in time for the holiday.
Oh, I know. For the parade.
Oh my God. Cool.
Yeah, so it's been a long, I had a much bigger thing on my nose for 2 Penguin games and had to hide it because I didn't want people to worry about me. But the thankful thing about the way I lucked out in this whole process was I thought it was weird that it hadn't healed. I was able to take a photo with my phone and send it through the My UPMC app, which is the system I use, to my dermatologist. And she looked at it and said, yeah, we need to get you in here as soon as we can. And that started the process. I was in within the next 2 days, I think it was, and saw her. She took a sample from it. And then when we had the results in the app, she literally called me as she got the results, and she's like, yep, we need to get you in and take care of this. So it doesn't go anywhere else, which is pretty awesome. And very grateful that we have good tech between my phones and being able to send it to somebody without having to be able to get in for an appointment.
Yeah, because how many people are like, because you were telling me that, I'm just like, God, I have so many moles and pimples that sounds disgusting. But I don't even think about, right? But yeah, having that availability, like, we kind of talked about how people don't get their hearing checked around the whole AirPods thing, coming out. Some other people will be able to kind of maybe move forward in that kind of thing, lowering that barrier of entry, especially something so many people just don't even think about that. Could be walking around with that, right?
Yeah, you don't give it a second thought. I mean, that would be incredible if we got to a point with cell phones that we could just, like the same as our hearing test, like, oh, let me scan this funny looking mole, and it'll be like, or yay, it looks fine. Yeah. That's a normal weird looking mole, but yeah, I think I'm very appreciative, and I think it's pretty cool.
Lowering that barrier. We see that with mental health too, don't we? Because we do see like the Zoom therapists and things like that, right? And I know, like, it is another conversation whether the apps are any good or anything like that with some of our behavioral therapy friends. But still, like, even if it gets you thinking about things that you weren't before, like it gets you, because that's just such a big hurdle to say, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna get into the doctor and take care of this, I'm gonna talk to somebody about this, and if it just makes that easier from your own home or whenever, that just so much more is going to get taken care of. So I like it.
I am very much one of those people who hates making phone calls. If anything I can do over text or message or email before a phone call, I will do it.
I've been stressing over a phone call I had to make over some business stuff for the last week. And it was like, today I'm doing it. Damn it. But awesome. No, I'm glad you got that taken care of. I'm glad that you're healing up and things look good. Do you need to get checked on that, like a kind of a follow-up to make sure everything's good, or it's kind of like, nope, we got it, or anything like that? Or
you missed the cat drop.
I just saw it out of the corner of my eye before I switched.
My boss just stepped out for a moment. She's leaving.
We see that. We see that. There's a little bit of attitude going on there.
Very much. Why am I making so much noise? But yeah, so that's it as far as this particular instance goes. It's done. It's gone. We just got to make sure everything heals up well,
Good.
and we'll have a follow up to make sure everything looks good. And that's it.
Excellent. Good to hear that. So definitely, if you have those abilities, use them. Find out if you do have those abilities. Maybe some people probably have them on their insurance plans and don't even know it, right? Like, I don't know, is UPMC pretty good about saying, hey, use this, this, and this, right?
Yeah, they love you to use virtual stuff. I mean,
Okay.
across the board, they're like, if you can do a virtual visit versus in an office, they're like, yep, do it.
Sounds good. All right, let's go. Who's next? Who wants to talk about what they're? Who wants to follow that up? Potter, Chilla.
I'll go.
All right.
Okay. Yep.
Mine is not nearly as great.
Listen,
so
we're
one of the things-
we're all batting from beneath right now. So.
yeah, but so I've been traveling a lot, and one of the things that I typically don't like is the keyboard on my tablet, and I have a 2-in-1 Windows device for work. The keyboard on my iPad is okay. So I actually gave the Keys to Go a try from Logi.
Mm-hmm.
I love this thing. Super light, connects up to 3 devices. I can actually, I've been on planes typing on my phone. Works extremely well. It actually, when it's closed, it is in like power save mode. It's off. It actually takes 2 watch batteries, which kind of surprised me. It's kind of odd. It's not like a rechargeable device. They are replaceable. There's 2 little screws. There is actually an on-off switch as well. But super nice device, super thin. And you just kind of flip it over, and it kind of gives it a little bit of a tilt.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not bouncy. The key travels okay. It has both Windows and Mac keys on it. Just makes travel a lot nicer for me.
Can you hold that up again so I can kind of see the surface? Like,
do you want to see the?
Yeah, I just want to see your like you for scale. Those are nice size keys. Actually, I kind of like.
The only thing that I wish they made it a little bit bigger and deeper, and gave me full size. I'm okay without a number pad. I don't need a number pad, but bigger arrows would be the only thing I would wish for.
Especially,
I've tried,
especially in that environment, right? Like it's nice to be able to click around.
I've tried like other keyboards with the bigger arrow keys, but then they're thicker. They're not travel friendly.
That's awesome. I still can't, no matter what I try, with the laptop and everything. I think it's me. I'm the problem. It cannot get comfortable enough on an airplane to try to get stuff going. So, but anyways, Podner, what are you thankful for?
Well, I'm actually going to steal what you have in the, in your main one.
Okay.
Your main one.
Okay. That's why I put a secondary in.
Exactly. So I'm thankful for, and I'll just say options in social media. That now, admittedly, I think a lot of times it's good to have a central location where if something happens, you can, you have the widest cross section of people available. But sometimes things happen to platforms, and it's good to have alternative platforms that may have, let's say, better blocking mechanisms to fall back on, and just having options. And I know there's always a shakeout when changes happen and where people are moving to, and some people may move here, some people may move here. Of course, there's winners and losers all the time. But just having that options of the place I used to go to is not where I want to be anymore.
Yeah. I'm with you. My version of this, and I'll get into my secondary awesome thing, but I'll piggyback off yours for this. The social media. I stated it in the document as the social media upheaval I've been waiting for, because we've been. I think I pined on this show about how we've been kind of stuck with the same ones, like these these pillars, these, nobody can beat them, social media platforms between all the Meta stuff, the Twitter, and God, who else was there? And YouTube, right? So, and we saw the promise of like, oh, there's this blue sky, oh, there's this Mastodon thing, oh, Meta has Threads, at least that's something different, but you'll still get the same and feels more or less like a Twitter, right? Because that's what some of us want. And for better or worse, agree with the reasons or not, this has happened. Somebody has bought Twitter, turned it into its own personal playground, whether you like it or not. That's what he's done, unequivocally. And or even if you can just look at it and say, I don't want all these extra features. I don't want to be bugged to pay for this thing. I want to go over here. Yeah. And the promise of, Threads is the same thing, but at least it's like into my, everybody, all three of those other platforms are promising an open source, right? Fediverse, kind of, decentralized kind of thing. There's an article about how, that I misread that. I misinterpreted the article to the end, so I won't get into that. And finally those people are going and finding their communities over there. I've always said I was not going to make a big move. I was placeholding until I saw the wrestling community make a move. That was my barometer, and it has happened. It has happened big time, right? When I saw the second largest, biggest wrestling promotion start a blue sky, I'm like, and every credible wrestling journalist move over to blue sky, I'm like, oh, it is effing on. Here we go. And I had to break it to our social media manager. You're going to have to learn how to do these things. But also it's exciting like it used to be because there's a newness to it. Everybody's discovering features. Everybody's discovering new ways to use it. Somebody had a little thing where the two celebrating ladies could be squeezed together so they were closer on the threads. There's a little feature I didn't know about, and I'm trying to think about other things we can do with that, with marketing and stuff.
I would say definitely panoramic.
Panoramic?
Yeah, because
the way the photos lay out.
Instead of doing one panoramic, you can do photo here, photo here, photo here.
Yeah.
You can do more than two and say squeeze together to get a full panoramic, and you don't have the panoramic like curve to it.
I like it. Like again, I like that there's those options. I like that everything's getting thrown up in the air, and I like that there is a potential that the places that may win may not be susceptible to another, Mark or Elon coming in and messing it up. 2 out of 3 options sound pretty good for that kind of idea, and it's kind of idiot founder proofed, hopefully, in these kinds of things. Not founder, but purchasers or whatever. So, no, I'm with you on that. Now, okay, so my secondary thankful thing, because I knew it was going to happen, I was going to go last. Definitely thankful for AI as a small business, owner and content creator, because it saves so much time. I would love to hire Dave for all my podcasts to do the work like he does in Fishing Without Bait, right? And he does great work, and he sends images of my wife with interesting faces when she's on an interview. But that's just not plausible, right? For a lot of reasons. So to have the CapCut video generator, to have things like ChatGPT to help me figure out because I have struggled for years with the, get the right SEO, get the right hashtags, but that kind of thing, and have something that kind of pops that out for me or cleans up an email. I was writing an email, asking for money today to do a job. And I feel so awkward writing that. So I can just be like, make this sound a little bit better, and, it's my secondary copywriter. And then I review it and say, yes, that's what I meant. That's the thing in my head that I can't get out. And we actually had a comment, Dave, you remember a couple weeks ago, I think we were talking about how we were talking about the Notes app, and I have not tried this enough. If you record a phone call with iPhone in the Notes app, you can transcribe it and go into Notes and everything. And they're like, well, why don't you just take better notes? And just like, some of us can't, for one reason or another,
Well, not only that, but you're trying to pay attention to the person on the phone.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And how many times were like, oh, hold on, I gotta get where's the pencil at? I gotta find a piece of paper. I don't have.
Well,
a
not
piece
even
of
that.
paper
Just like
anywhere near
taking the time to write the thing down.
Yeah.
And did I actually write what that person just told me? Or did I interpret it as, or did I write what I think they told me? And you find out like 3 weeks later when you're at the job, that's not how you thought things were happening. You know, like it's not just, you know, that it is about fine tuning, grabbing those details. So, and again, these are not things to replace things. These are things to enhance what you already do and be better at it. Cause not all of us are incredibly amazing, super detailed person like my wife, you know, who's incredible with those kinds of things, but I can't throw all this stuff at her because she's got plenty to do. So, you know, some of us have to figure it out for ourselves, and thankfully there are tools to help us through if we're smart enough to apply them the right ways. So, anybody else have anything else about how AI has been helping them this year? I know we've all been working with it in several different ways.
I like how I've used it. We kind of talked about this before as like an assistant where I will not. I've had to, well, the same thing, kind of rewrite things for me. So because I couldn't think of a better way to say certain things in a correct format. And I've also I've used it to essentially like kind of streamline some things and like what's the best way to do this. To me, it's like an enhanced Google without having to Google, if that makes any sort of sense. Like where it's like, how do I do this? What are the steps to down? Because I tasks big scare me, brain go. But having something that will break it down to like, this is how you do this, and I go, oh, okay, I can do this and this and this. But yeah, big scary.
That was that Goblin Tools that did that for you, right? That was breaking things down, because that's always like, you know, one of the big like advice points I always got on the internet was like, well, you have this giant task. Okay, what's the first step you do today? It's like, but I can't figure out the first step because all I'm looking at is the giant thing. Like, you need someone to say, no, this is your first step, and help you narrow that down. You know, sometimes that's a consultant you talk to, you know, and now, you know, this is that kind of thing, you know. So an organization, it's consultant of some sort. So now it's been fascinating. And again, like, I think we're finally back to an interesting technology, exciting, sometimes scary world, of course, with things. We're dealing with a lot of technology applied to society over the last decade or so, free willingly. And what does that mean? And but also there's a lot of tools out there that I think are gonna, you know, I'm always looking at like, you know, the new connections that can be made, you know, and there can always, wherever you can make good connections and good things can happen, people can use it for some terrible things too. That's always going to happen. So as long as you don't cut it off for everybody else too. So anyways. Well, we got a little bit of time here, and then we got a few things that we can kind of poke at. So let's check out some of the news.
Yep, it's the news.
What's going on out there that you guys want to talk about out of this last of the list here? Couple of these are
Do you want to
scary.
go first?
I want to know about Disney and the NBA.
We already talked about
Or
that.
not Disney. Oh wait. Oh yeah. Dang.
Yeah,
no.
I moved it up top. Sorry, that's the one.
That's right. I was like, I looked at the difference. I hit the dunk the halls and thought it was something different, and I was super excited.
That was me. Yep.
But have you been looking at? I've been deep into TikTok behind the scenes stuff of Disney recently.
Oh yeah.
And I've been enjoying that, like rides within the rides, and also I'm very sad about the Muppets.
The
their whole
outpouring of the Muppets going away has been incredible. I'm really glad we went when we did to see some things that we just found out are going away this year. Yeah. I think I've talked about that before. Muppets Theater, no. So to that vein, there is an account that I've come across. She is a civil engineer, and she breaks down what went wrong and why Rise of the Star Wars Galaxy ruined the flow of the park.
Yeah.
I saw that.
Yeah,
I saw that also.
And
I saw that also.
Cut off Muppets, and now they're gonna fix it.
Because there was an arena, or not a, there was a theater, because it was all the backlot stuff, and that's why. Because we went to the thing where, like, the one alley where you just go to the end and we're like, oh, this is something with Madame What's-Her-Face that makes the clothes for Invincibles. And we didn't even know it was a photo op. We're just like walked in the building looking at the stuff and we're like, oh, I guess we're taking a photo now. And we're like, what was this? You know? And that was like the entrance. And she like redesigns, hey, you should have made this go into Toy Story and this goes over here and this does this and this. So bad news, Muppets area, which has been halfway closed since like COVID anyways. And apparently everybody hates the Mama Rosa restaurant back in the back. The hate for Mama Rosas, like Disney. God, Disney's social media is so wild, you know. It's a culture in a culture, and it's amazing. But yeah, that's been a really fun one. My other deep dive this last few days, I've been getting ex-CIA stories. Really bad. And I just went down this rabbit. I have like 2 guys that I'm following now. I don't even know their names because their names usually aren't on the TikToks, but it keeps sending me the same people across several accounts. And I was like, I don't know what's happening, man, but like, I'm down with this. I'm loving the stories. I don't know how freaking real they are, but I'm just kind of, and then I like ended up like with like a Marine was telling me how stuff works there. And I'm just like, what is happening? Why am I so interested in the military now? So but no, it's pretty well. Happy post Veterans Day, I guess. But anyways, how did we get here on this one? But
Muppets.
No, but
Muppets.
So if you didn't hear, okay, so yeah, that Muppet area is going away. Muppet Vision's probably going away too. Although there was somebody they suggested they could keep it along with the new builds for Monsters Inc. Land. But the Aerosmith roller coaster in Disney Hollywood, is going to convert into a Muppets roller coaster. I am in for it. I am so in for this. So,
Just a bunch of chickens going.
Exactly. I figured
Like, I'm just picturing like the song you're gonna get is like different versions of the Muppet Show. Like that's how the like theme song, like the whole thing going through. You're like, oh no, you got the chicken version. So it's nothing but like bok bok.
It's like you know how Small World's the same song. That's how you don't get messed up going from land to land. Like it's the same Muppet theme in different versions as you go from section to section. Give me the Muppet Dark Ride where this happens, okay? So, yeah, that could turn us into a Disney podcast really quick here. Let's talk about what is this? I don't know about this. This one, I don't know about the robot uprising in China because that was from Sun UK, and the more I read that article, I was like,
I don't trust the Sun.
I don't trust this.
Don't trust the Sun.
It's in the group.
It's literally saying I saw something in National Enquirer.
Listen,
it was quite interesting.
I got beef with the Sun because the Sun posted something that we did several years ago that got some wrestling in the area in trouble with the PA Athletic Commission, and it was some of my content, and I was like, oh no, what's going on here? Happy New Year. Because they posted it during the break, and they got back in, this is several years ago, so I can talk about it a little bit. They got back into like the office on like January 2nd or 3rd, and apparently had like a list of emails photocopy like with images from the articles and stuff. It was like, well, there you go. So, I'm excited about this. I've been waiting for this because I'm really frustrated when I can only play the games I own on the cloud on my phone when they happen to also be in Game Pass that I'm paying for. So Xbox is now letting you play a select number. It's like 120 or something. It's a good number, but also some are like multiple versions of the same game. So take that for what it is. But still, if you're buying some more recent games, you're going to have some luck in here. I know my WWE 2K24 is in here, a couple other games that I think I bought more recently, Mortal Kombat 1, for instance. But you will be able to play, as long as they're on this list, and this list will be ever expanding, of course, you can play games you own on the cloud. Now, you will also still have to pay for Game Pass as part of this to get the access to the streaming. But still, only 50 games support the feature, and you can't stream them on the Xbox console yet. This is only through like the web and app versions of Game Pass, it looks like. So, I think that's pretty cool. It's a step in the right direction. And it kind of opens that up. I mean, they're like Xbox is really big on pushing the you don't actually need a console to Xbox. You know, they're really pushing the thing because it is starting to become, I think, installed on several Samsung televisions, perhaps, and things like that. So I think that's a really good. This is the thing I've been waiting for. This is the next step, and we're there, even though everything's still in beta. But that's okay. You know, I got good internet, and I can do this now, and you know, and I got a nice controller, and I can Xbox. You know, so. No, looking forward to that. And I think PlayStation, the PlayStation has like a portable thing that streams, and I think they just updated it so you don't need to stream from a console too. So both camps are getting some really good stream options. What's Nintendo doing? I guess they're gearing up for a new console release next year or something, right? This is a question, Chilla.
I don't know.
Should I consider
Come
getting?
back.
Oh no, is he gone?
Yeah,
He's been gone.
He had
Then Katie, I'll ask you until he comes back.
The telephone went off and he had to go.
You are now the resident Switch owner here. Should I get a late model Switch as they get cheaper, or wait for the new one?
I mean, it depends on what you want to use it for. That's our question. That's always what we ask, right? What are you planning on using it for? If you're just going to play games like I play games, you're fine with a late model. I mean, if you want something fancier and a fancier screen, then wait for the new stuff. I mean, my case has been fully customized with stickers from a planner that say lifting. I think that's a birthday exclamation point, and maybe something with budgeting. I don't know. It's a check mark. My nephew decorated it for me last time I was there.
Your business Switch? Is that what's happening there?
Yes, that's it. It's my biz switch.
Your biz Switch. Jeez.
Customized.
Maybe it's time to get a bunch of them on the cheap and have a LAN party. Can you LAN party with those things? Yeah.
Let's
okay.
go.
That's
Let's
it.
go. Yeah.
Stock up. Let's have a Switch LAN party like the good old days. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes. I'm not sold on it yet. They got plenty to play. I've been jumping back into our Apple Arcade games actually, so I'm having a lot of fun with those. Anyways, anything else we need to touch on here? Should we?
How do we feel about Niantic? I saw you. You put that in there. How do we feel about our Pokemon Go data?
Yeah,
being used for mappage.
This is more of an advisory, I suppose. So, as you mentioned, Niantic apparently has been using our geospatial data for an AI model based on Pokemon Go player data. I'm sure. Listen, you're going to hear more and more of this. So it's based on millions of scans taken from smartphones of players of Pokemon Go and other Niantic products. It could allow computers and robots to understand and interact with the world. So it's based on visualizing 3D geometry.
Ooh.
Build high-fidelity 3D maps of the world, which include both 3D geometry or shape of things and semantic understanding what stuff in the map is, such as ground, sky, trees, etc. That's one way to do it, I guess. And, they're a data company, and they are a Google spin-out, so none of this should really be too surprising. They have aims to navigate the world like ChatGPT spits out text, according to this article on The Verge. Unsurprising. Definitely feels a little creepy, but such is the way, unfortunately. And that's why we need a blue sky of Pokemon Go.
I did like how they were talking about the Pokestops were in areas that they specifically needed more data from, and it was like, that's interesting.
I thought it was a big deal because they were like McDonald's and stuff, right? So,
because they moved around.
Okay, all right. Interesting. So wait, is it mapping? Like, were they visually, because they're
So it's using, but you think about, you could have pictures from multiple angles of a building, depending on where where you're catching your Pokemon at, and you can create a 3D map of the area, kind of like Google. You think about like a 3D Google Streets, Street View. But instead of having one camera running around in a car that you pay money for, you have all these photos that you got for free, as just as people are playing the game.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, and the others just going, and yeah, and then it's like, oh, we can make a 3D map of a city, and they can actually make it where you can see, well, I want to see pictures from 2021. Now I want to see pictures from 2023 from the same location.
But these are like you're not always using the camera though. That's what I'm kind of not getting on this one, because maybe it's just the way I play. Maybe more people do use their camera when it comes to these, because I know there's a thing where it becomes the background drops out and you just see what's around you, right? The AR mode of this. Is that what we're talking about here? Is it's taking that data in? It's like, I shouldn't have been playing this in my bedroom with the camera on. Is it what we're saying? Because it turns out that data was taken up. Is this anonymized? I have more questions basically, that they need to answer to dig themselves out of hot water, honestly, about these things. At least tell us you anonymized the things. Lie to me. That's all we can, because it's not like we can do anything about it.
No. Isn't Pikmin AR?
Did they? Oh God, they did have a Pikmin game, didn't they? That was brief, but and I'm pretty sure they had the Harry Potter game, and I think they had like an NBA game or something like that. None of them, I think, took off to the extent that Pokemon Go did. But I'm going to go to their website and see what they have running right now, because I am unawares. So, yeah, there it is. They're in a right flush on the front page, building a large geospatial model to achieve spatial intelligence. Yeah, that seems, and it looks like what it would look like if I was trying to catch a Pokemon in that background there. Okay, there you go. So what if? Oh God, what is? Oh no. What if augmented reality? And I love that the images on the side are like from like a Pokemon Go and stuff from stuff they're using. But I mean, AI model for perceiving the world, visual positioning system. They don't even talk about the games on the front page. That's wild. And now you can go into, you got to dig into the menu to find the games, which are currently Monster Hunter Now, Peridot. I feel like we talked about this. And Pikmin Bloom is still listed here. Pokemon Go and Ingress Prime, which I think is an update. Ingress was the first game that they used that they kind of based the Pokemon off of. Harry Potter, I believe, was. They also have Campfire and Wayfarer. I'm curious about these now. That's for later. Maybe that's for Patreon. We'll poke at those a little bit. Who knows? But in the meantime, it is pumpkin time. Technically, it was apparently we had a pre-pumpkin. We had an early pumpkin time because Chilla just poofed out of existence like a Pokemon that ran away. Did he have the little pew thing like when he ran away? I didn't have him on camera.
It just disappeared. Like my cat just walked out. Was mad.
Oh,
gave attitude.
Did he do the like wiggle attitude thing on his way out the door? All right. We just make up the story now. Chilla is on the internets as well. He's Chilla on, I believe, on X and Chilla579, most other places. KatieDudas.com for all your links to all things Dutters.
Oh, I have to add Blue Sky to that. Bye.
Yes. Dave Podner.
Yep, pretty much Prof Prod everywhere except for TikTok, where I'm Prof Prod PGH.
Let me know if the tags work. I've been using Croissant, and it does the multiple tag thing that's supposed to adapt them. Except Katie had a weird name that when if it didn't work sometimes when I tag her, I noticed. So I'm curious if you guys are getting the posts on that. I couldn't find Chilla everywhere. I don't think Chilla has adapted to the new social media world, but he's been traveling a lot, so that's okay. I'm at Sorgatron all places possible over on the social medias and otherwise. So please reach out and say hi wherever you might be. Let me know what other TikTok trends I need to get into. It's definitely changed. It's definitely changed my feed on TikTok. That's for damn sure. I don't know if I like it yet, but I get into it. Thank you everybody for joining us. Patreon, stay tuned. We'll probably talk about something here on the post show, and maybe we'll dig into the Niantic apps because Niantic apps because I'm kind of curious about it. Let me give them more data. Sure, why not? So thank you guys so much for joining us. We'll be back next week for the Awesome Cast, leading up here through at least a week before Christmas here, and we take a little bit of a holiday break I don't know why I'm telling you this early. I just, need a moment to find the outro button. Thank you guys for joining us. You've been our awesome week. You've been our awesome audience. Have an awesome week. Ha. This show is a member of the Sorgatron Media Podcast Network. Find out more at Sorgatron.
We're all good.
Hold on, let me hit record here. What were you saying, Dave? What were you saying, Dave?
Wait a minute. If you remember,
first
Star Wars.
First
movie.
Star Wars. They're sneaking in. They're in ill-fitted stormtrooper outfits.
Yep.
They're breaking the princess out of lockup.
Out of lockup.
Yes.
And they get a call down from Central.
Mm-hmm.
And Han says, everything's fine. Everything's fine here. We're all good. You don't have to have anyone come down.
How are you?
How are you? Yeah, and then he shoots up the console.
Oh, that is the best. That is the best Harrison Ford moment ever. I was really excited because our friend Merlin, who's apparently not watched Beyond Phantom Menace, and we ended up talking over 2 matches on the paper from the AEW pay-per-view Saturday, as Rob and I were trying to step him through because they're doing they're showed me the list. He's like, I don't know if I should do chronological or a release. I'm like, you need to do release order.
Wait a minute. He hasn't seen the original trilogy at all?
No. He had only seen the original, and I think at a certain age, because I think they said there were 10 when Phantom Menace came out, and it obviously did not capture the imagination, so did not proceed. And now, thanks to technology and Disney Plus subscriptions, he's just blowing through it. So I was giving advice like, you need to do this, you need to do this. Yes, you can watch this.
I have to feel old now.
I need to what?
Phantom Menace 1999.
Yeah. So you can do that math. So okay, all right. Oh man, that was a heavy one. Wow, Dave, Dave? Do you need a hug?
I need a cane or a walker. I think.
No! Oh no! I feel hanging around all these kids every week at training.
Yeah,
like they're literally kids.
In just a small diversion, but when you interact with people, and I didn't. Wait a minute. No, well, first of all, interacting with people that's a problem. But yeah, exactly. But when you I don't remember having this from the opposite way when I was younger. When I interact with people, and it's like, oh yeah, we can't be that far different in age. We talk, we can. Relate to each other. We're not completely on opposite sides.
Mm-hmm.
And then you talk to someone who's basically young enough to be your kid.
Mm-hmm. I basically hang out with people that could be young enough to be my kid, like all the time. Like it's, I mean, basically, right? So because they're all like wrestlers within their first few years, which means they're probably in their like mid to 20s. I'm just like, oh, shit, you're literally half my age, like I've been rolling with Zeke to concerts, and they're like, did they just turn 24? Maybe 6, maybe something like that.
No, I think 24,
like,
25.
We're like 15 to 18 years apart, and we're both going to Avenged Sevenfold. So, and I just feel like at some point I'm going to have to say, no, I did not adopt this one. So, or something like that. So I don't know. But I think we're cross-generational beings. I feel, this is, I fret, allegedly, I'm going to start teaching here soon. And I remember the last time I tried doing this, I kept making DOS references in 2013. And I'm like, oh my God, stop doing that. These kids don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Yeah. I don't know how many back in my day we used to worry about this kind of stuff. I dropped in those. Damn it. And if I'm talking about podcasting, I feel like I'm going to do the same thing. But at least it feels more relevant. And it's like more of a linear history kind of thing. So, is it bad that I hope I get to tell them the history of podcasting? Like, I kind of want to, right? Or like, so there was this.
Sit down and let me tell you, my youngins, about the history of podcasting. And then you pull out like a stone tablet and you're like, written in the stone tablet.
See, there was this guy that used
to.
There's this guy that used to be on MTV, and he discovered the RSS feed in a fossil.
Or didn't really freak him out if you happen to have an iPod with a wheel and said, we had to hook this up to a computer and download things, and it didn't hold that much.
I'm just going to bring an original iPod every week.
Yeah.
To remind them the roots, right? I think I do have a hard drive one. I have a hard drive one. I have like that little lapel one they did.
I have that one.
Yeah.
I can probably pull
like
that out.
I got a couple of them. Like I never got them when they were new. Like I think we got Missy one, and I think we were hooking up to the car for a while. Oh no, she's on the search. She's in the chair. Oh man, no. We just got the back of the chair, so you got to come back around Dr. Evil style.
Hello. Hello, I have a bin of who knows what in here.
Oh no.
This is mostly my cables and boxes that I have hung on to. But I believe
me it's
also
a room.
where my old iPhones also live.
Yay!
They're so tiny. Look at it, it's a baby. Look at it.
And that's not even the smallest one.
No. It had a baby.
Mhm.
Oh, now I have to dig through a box and find things. But I know I have it.
Mhm.
Oh, partner left. We scared him away.
Oh,
Oh,
no.
he's looking for his stuff. Not just us like pulling things
I'm trying
out
to.
of random places.
Somehow I have 3 or 4 Pebble watches, and I don't know how that happened entirely. Chilla must have gifted me his old ones or something. So, like, one of them is an original Kickstarter one.
Oh wow.
I think.
Oh
which
yeah,
I
that's
had.
right.
I had. Oh, that's when I was doing the deal. I was wheeling and dealing with Chilla and gave him my Google Glass, and he kicked me his Kickstarter Pebble and like $100 or something, and an iPad. I wonder where that iPad is. It's not that one. Jeez. Oh, we got a lot of cables happening there.
I don't even know what half these
I mean,
are.
oh, look at those. You know what? Those still actually come in handy. You got the like old the square ends. You need those. Yeah, those ones are those are right there. Right, the ones I'm pointing at it, but nobody can see it. The gray one.
Nope.
No, because the ATEM still use it. Last I saw.
Oh.
I think. Well, the new one is USB-C, but like the one I just got from my New Japan guy was still one of those.
Fancy.
So, I love this. What's in your drawer? And the newest feature on the AwesomeCast.
You realize we've turned into, if you want to say this, we turned into stereotypical dads who had the jar of screws. That you didn't know.
Don't go into my basement.
Well, yeah, it's like what did the screw go to? I don't
That's
know, but I
me.
have a screw
That's
here.
wall-
We could need a screw one.
That's
of these
wall
days.
wart plugs.
That's a
I have
new
an
cable.
entire bin of AC adapters. Because like, I don't know when the hell I'm going to need something like this, right? And meanwhile, I should throw them all away because they're all like 15 years old and probably unsafe at this point, okay? So like, I still have the original AC adapters for the Sega Genesis and my Nintendo Entertainment System. I probably shouldn't leave those plugged in. I got an old Atari 2600 working, and we're playing it, and I was like, I'm not leaving this plugged in. I will plug it in to play it, but I will not leave this unattended.
No.
This is a 40-year-old electronic device? No, that's a terrible idea. So, you know,
when you were mentioning the smallest iPhone, here's my 4S.
4S, and
Ooh,
that's
baby.
still not even the smallest. Still not even the smallest.
No,
Oh man,
no, this is the smallest.
is it
3.5. Yeah. It was the 5 that got the bigger screen.
Okay. Oh, so that's
This one-
still
this
the
one, yeah.
original wasn't smaller than that. I swore it was.
No. Well, it was different because it had the
It
plastic
was
back,
smooth.
and yeah, it was smooth.
It was
and,
lickable.
Well, they had the metal. They had the metal top, and then they had the open part, the plastic at the bottom. And the 4 was the first time they did the glass back.
Remember the lickable test that they had? Ever lick your iPhone?